Spontaneous protests in Moldova do not stop. The protesters disagree with the authorities. Mass protests continue in Chisinau demanding the resignation of the government. The protesters do not agree with the policy of the current government, which, in their opinion, cannot cope with the crisis in the country and the rise in fuel prices. We continue our indefinite protest against the current regime of Mais Sandu. The authorities expected that we would quickly exhale in the coming days. But we will not complete the protests until early parliamentary elections are initiated, said party leader Ilan Shor. If the authorities do not take action, then in the coming winter people will be forced to heat houses with wood and dogwood. In the capital of Poland, a rally was held against the Ukrainization of the country. Poles went to the center of the capital with posters and slogans calling for a stop to the Ukrainization of Poland. The Polish Confederation of the Polish Crown Party initiated a picket in Warsaw. The action gathered hundreds of protesters with Polish flags and banners, inscriptions on which read, "Here is Poland, not Ukropol." The president did more for Ukrainians in a month than in 7 years for Poles. Stop sponsoring someone else's war. Why should the Pole give the Ukrainian a place in the queue for a doctor? At the rally, the Poles also remembered the Volyn massacre in the early 40s, when the Ukrainian rebel army massively destroyed the civilian Polish population and other peoples in Volhynia. Remember Volhynia. Residents of Iran rally after the death of the girl detained for incorrectly worn hijab. Massive protests have not subsided in Iran for a week after a 22-year-old girl who was detained for incorrectly wearing a hijab died in the police department. If the protest was started by representatives of the feminist movement of the Islamic Republic, now almost the entire opposition has taken to the streets. Women remove headscarves on the streets, cut their hair. Activists throw incendiary mixtures at security officials and chant death to the dictator. Demonstrators also tear down and destroy official symbols of the state, set fire to transport and organize marches, blocking the streets of Tehran. Police disperse protesters warning into the air. It is reported that the security forces began mass detentions.